Hey, what's going on? This is Mike, and I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter at that Sports Dope, and on Instagram I have the same name. If you're interested in any of my other social media links, you can go to mindsofmike.com/the Sports Dope. There's a whole bunch of icons up there. There's one for YouTube. There's one for iTunes. Even if you want to watch the dumb shit that I fucking post on Reddit, not super frequently, but it just whatever you wanted to find, put it all up there. It's whenever I have free time, I'm out there blabbering about all this bullshit. I'm just the regular degenerate that you know in your neighborhood. He doesn't shut the fuck up about the numbers and what bets he's got out there, and I'm just somebody who can't stop talking about it. So this is gonna be weird for you if you're watching this on YouTube because it's about to cut to me talking about the picks for next week. Cut into the start of the recap. What happened was the first 50 seconds or so just got, I don't know, my computer didn't fucking record at all. So the rest of the intro stuff didn't really make sense. I do all this shit on the fly. I feel weird trying to recreate it, so I'm just blabbering about the technical difficulty I had. So it's gonna cut to me saying some shit like, what the fuck was it? But let's get into the recap or some shit like that. And so there you go. There it is. Check me out on social media. Subscribe to YouTube because I want to be able to just say youtube.com/thesportsdope, and I need a certain number of subscribers to do it. I got like fucking 7. It's terrible. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. So subscribe, do that. And, there we go. Here we go. Let's get into the recap. So let's dive right into the recap. Let's just start off. It was a profitable week, right? We needed one of those. We were down the last 2 after starting pretty good. So we needed to get back into the positive. We did that this week. We did it pretty well. Did it in pretty well fashion. Hit the teaser. The only thing that really sucked was the dog. And one of the losses, to be honest, I don't think it should have been a loss. It was a little injury hurt. A little injury luck. Didn't work out for us. Actually, before we dive into that recap, I also wanted to, like I mentioned, down the last 2 weeks. But before that, started out hot. Pretty hot. So what I'm going to do next week, sometime in the middle of the week, probably the first podcast I'm going to do next week, I am going to tally up wins and losses and see the overall season record and all that stuff. And if you see me looking off to the side, I got the World Series on Tuesday night. But yeah, so going to do a recap one, and then for the overall season record. Then I'm also going to look at some of the futures plays. We're going to look at the second half schedules for all these teams. Maybe there's a team second place, something like that, and they got a super easy second half, plus money on to win the division type of deal. So we'll do some discussion on that sometime next week, I'm hoping. So yeah, now let's dive in. Week 8 recap. First off, we'll go over what I said for the entire week, just general picks for everything, because I'm picking every game just because I want to know. But and then we'll go over the bets. So Thursday night game, Washington, Minnesota. This was an ugly game. And this is a game that we bet on too. And I like the over on this. I like the over a lot because I thought it was, like everybody talked about Kirk Cousins going, playing Washington. I was more concerned with Case Keenum playing Minnesota. This dude took him to the fucking just about the Super Bowl. And then they're like, nah, get out of here. It's like, dude, I would be more pissed if I was Case Keenum. And also Adrian Peterson going back to the scene of the crime. Where he got booted after beating the shit out of his kid too hard. But yeah, so Minnesota, Washington. I liked Washington in this because I thought they'd keep it close. And 16 was way too big of a number. They did. I didn't bet on it though, just a general pick for the week. But one thing I did bet on was the over. And man, Case Keenum, concussion, didn't come back for the second half. We got Dwayne Haskins threw 3 for 5. That's disgusting. So I think the score of this was 19-10, some shit like that. Yeah, 19-9. Yeah, I think if Case Keenum comes back for that second half, they at least put one in the end zone, maybe another field goal. They get up to close to 20, and Minnesota actually has to score because they're scoring. And I think that one covers the over 42 easily, but didn't work out that well. Next up, we had Seattle and Atlanta. When we talked about this, it was 3.5, and I said Seattle, so I'm not really going to count this one as a win because when the game closed, it was close to 8, and Seattle didn't cover because it was Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub threw fucking all over them. All over the Seahawks. So I don't know if it was just the receivers or what, but man, Seahawks defense did not show up like at all. And they're lucky to get out of there with that win. But yeah, they didn't cover. So we also had Philly going to Buffalo. I said Buffalo was the sucker bet of the week. And man, was I fucking right on that one. I should actually bet on Philly. I didn't. I just thought that Buffalo was the sucker bet of the week, and I just wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, Philly dominated, won that one. Chargers beat the Bears, so we won that one. I liked the Lions hosting the Giants, but we lost that. Wasn't an actual bet, though. What was a bet was the over in that game. I don't know. I smelled that high-scoring game coming. I knew both teams were going to be in the 20s and above, so I really liked that over 49.5 when it was out there, so that was a win for us. We had Tampa Bay at Tennessee. I took Tampa Bay, did not cover that one, but, not a real bet. Arizona, they also didn't cover. Man, I did not expect that from the Saints. Like, to be that, I thought Breeze, might be a little rusty. He was kind of, he didn't throw it, deep downfield or anything crazy like that, but still, I was still pretty impressed with his performance. Jacksonville we liked, but we didn't bet on. And, yeah, we should have, because they fucking smoked the Jets. Smoked them. Let's see. Cleveland, they went to New England. I liked them, but didn't bet on them. Good thing. They lost. I also liked Houston. Didn't bet on them straight up, but they were in the tees. They lost the straight up bet, won the tees. And then, yeah, Packers covered. Miami covered. So let's talk about the actual games that we bet on. We went 3 out of 4 for the straight up picks for the locks and leans. Washington and Minnesota over didn't hit. Like we said, that was because Case Keenum just decided, oh, my head hurts. I don't want to play. Come on, dude. I get migraines. I know what that shit's like. So, but we had the Giants and the Lions over. That one hit with the Rams minus 13. That got a little dicey at the end there. Full disclosure, I was not in a position to watch a bunch of the games as I typically am. So I was, a slave to whatever's on network TV, and the Rams were not. So I got an alert that was like, oh, shit, they fucking scored that touchdown right at the end. But I guess it got overturned. So, the Rams kept the 2-touchdown lead. And then speaking of 2 touchdowns, we also had Miami catching 14.5. Pitt won by 13, and it looked pretty dicey in the beginning. The sucker bet of the week, like we talked about, was Buffalo. We should actually bet on Philly. I just thought that was too favorable to Buffalo, who hasn't beaten anybody really good, and their quarterback is still fucking super suspect. And a hungry team that just won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Man, should have fucking went on that Philly thing. But I wasn't sure if they were just completely fucking nosediving. So, but I knew Buffalo just had no business being that favorite there. Dog of the week, Carolina. Wow, has a team got smoked more than Carolina got fucking smoked this weekend? Man, that was disgusting. What a terrible bet. But I figured, hey, man, off the bye, I figured they would be able to get some stuff done. I still don't really believe in San Francisco. I don't know if that's just me and my bias, but I feel like they remind me of the Bears last year. I don't trust their offense at all. I think it should be better now that they traded for Emmanuel Sanders. The running game is fucking super legit, but how many times are they really going to go off for 11 and 180? Right? For some reason, I don't know what Carolina's problem was. They were playing super great before their bye week, and now all of a sudden they just shit the bed against a fucking average at best offense. That was disgusting. The teaser, we went with Indy, Pick'em, Houston -1.5, and Green Bay +1.5. That shit cashed. So, put a unit on that. That's like a +170 return. Yeah, something like that. That's what my book has. So, for the week, 3 wins, 2 losses. And then the teaser for +170, up 2.7 units. I'll fucking take that. I'll take that after 2 down weeks, for sure. So let's see how we're going to keep this going. Keep it rolling, keep it moving into week 9. All right, we're going to start off with the games we're not betting on, as per usual. And to be honest, not a lot of them. I like a lot of shit, and there's a couple of buys. So we got the Falcons, the Bengals, the Rams, and the Saints all on buys this week. And yeah, so a couple less games, and I don't know, like a few things. So let's once again start off with the games we are not betting on. So Thursday night, San Francisco at Arizona. I guess this line to be 7.5. Opened at 7, all the way up to 9.5 right now. The total is at 43, hasn't moved yet. I am not betting on this game. I mean, I might that night. Catch me on Twitter at that Sports Dope. If I do wind up betting it, I will tweet about it before the game. I am a degenerate, so I will bet that it happens. See, I'm betting already. I'm betting on if or not I'm going to bet. It's like fucking Dumb and Dumber. But it's Thursday night, though. It's Halloween. It's my anniversary, full disclosure. So there is a possibility that I don't get into this game early. So I might live bet it, maybe like a second half bet. Or maybe it'll be a blowout by the time I do get focused on it and I just go to sleep. Maybe fine. Waking up at 5 in the morning, maybe go to bed before fucking midnight one night. I'm almost 40 for Christ's sake, and I can't even go to bed on time. So that game, not betting on it. Next game we are not betting on. Washington goes to Buffalo. When this game came out, when I looked at it, guessed my lines on Monday morning, thought it'd be like Buffalo 9.5. Opened at 10, stayed at 10. The total's 36.5, moved up to 37. I'm staying the fuck away from this one. I don't even know what the quarterback is yet for Washington. I feel like the Bills are out to destroy somebody, but in Buffalo, that could totally mean 10-3. So I'm just staying away from this. I have no thoughts on it whatsoever. The under still 37. That's just too fucking low. It's too low. I still don't care. Like, even if Washington has the ability to score 2 fucking accidental touchdowns and maybe a purposeful field goal, right? That's 17 points. And I don't know. I'm not staying away from that. I hate super low totals like that. I hate them. Next up, games we're not betting on. Tennessee at Carolina. Carolina got smoked this week. Tennessee won. Not trusting of Tennessee. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They probably should have lost that game. The refs fucked that up, from what I understand, with the blowing the whistle on a fucking fumble recovery that they were about to return for a touchdown. Bruce Arians was out there saying that the picks weren't Jameis's fault. So I haven't looked at the tape yet. Probably not going to get around to it, to be completely honest. But if these weren't his fault, were the other 4 the other week his fault? Like, come on. At some point, you can say, like, hey, the guy fucking slings it too hard sometimes. Nobody knows that better than the Uber driver. So next game, we are not betting on. Cleveland's going to Denver. See, so when this shit opened up, right, I had Denver minus 1.5. They announced Flacco's not playing. They got some rookie. If you're a rookie, like, he's not a rookie, actually. Let me take that back. He's been in the league for 4 years, but never taken a snap. That should tell you everything you need to know. Total of this game, 43. If anything, I kind of like the under. That might be what I do. Sorry, you're catching me thinking on the fly right here. I might be adjusting my teaser because, we'll talk about it in a minute. Next game, not betting on. Dallas is going to the Giants. See, I got a little, I don't know. I thought it was going to be Dallas minus 4. Like, look, I get it. They just beat the shit out of the Eagles. But the last time they came to the Meadowlands, they lost and they were playing the Jets. Now, the Jets and the Giants, fairly even. But still, the last time they were in the Meadowlands, playing an awful team, they lost. So I thought 4 was a pretty fair number. They opened this shit at 9, got bet all the way down to 7. I'm probably staying away, though. I don't want it. It's Monday night, to be fair, and I am a degenerate, and there's football on. So I will probably find something to do with it on Monday night, and we'll tweet it out. All right, so that's it. That's it for the games we've got no interest on. So I'm going to start off with the locks, go to the leans, and then we will do the sucker bet, the dog, and go into the teaser. And like I just said, I might switch my teaser up. I'm still thinking about it while I'm talking to you. That's what I got going on. 2 things at once. All right, starting off with the locks. So, Jacksonville. This is not me seeing Jacksonville beat the shit out of the Jets and think they're fucking amazing. This is not me seeing Houston play a little rough against Oakland and then, just not buying it. This is me thinking Jacksonville is pretty much at home in London. This game is in London. It's the super early game. It's the super early game. Sorry, I had to go turn the computer back on because I panicked and thought it froze. Obviously, in London, it's in regular time. But it's a super early game here. Jacksonville knows exactly what that travel's all about. They're traveling from their home, totally used to it. And I think Minshew translates. Minshew looked fucking great. Like, I don't know if it was just because the Jets are that bad, but he was scrambling. He was ducking in and out of shit, whipping touchdown passes, sidearm, overarm, everything. Minshew was slinging, and he looked fantastic. And guess what? Houston's defense, not good. Not good. And guess what? They're down J.J. Watt because his pec fell off during the game. So, I think those two things, the travel and the offense versus the defense matchup, I think Fournette's going to be able to run on these guys. And what's the recipe for the Texans? Keep Watson upright. Jags have a phenomenal pass rush. Phenomenal pass rush. Ngakoue, Calais Campbell, Josh Allen, the guy the Giants should have taken. I love the Jags. I got him at +3 when it first opened up. It's down to +2 already. I also love the under. The under's 47.5. I like the under because this is so high on the perception of Houston's offense. And, the Jags have a good offense also. An above-average offense now, you can say. But Houston, I don't know what their team total is, but I'm going to write that down. I'm looking at that. I'm going to bet if the total's 47, the team total for them is probably 25, 24.5. Somewhere around there, maybe 26. Give me that under. Give me that under. I will take that. Absolutely. I'm actually writing it down now. QTT down arrow. That's my code. All right. Talk myself into it while I'm talking to you guys. Unbelievable. So, Jags +2. I'll take that also. I think they went outright. Under 47.5. That's a lock. That's a lean, respectively. Moving on. Look, I picked this before the game last night. I did this all before the game last night. So I even wrote in the notes, if the Dolphins win, I worry about a steal, a bounce back spot. So I probably wouldn't bet on it. And when the Dolphins were up 14-0, I was like, holy shit, I'm not going to be able to bet on Indy next week because I'm worried about the Steelers bounce back spot. But lo and behold, Steelers came back. They win. They didn't cover. So give me Indy this week. I thought it was going to be Indy -2.5. It opened at a pick, and it currently sits at Indy -1. Give me that all fucking day. Pitt, I think Indy will be able to score on them. Not like at will, but I think they'll be able to move the ball. I think they have a coaching advantage. And I think across the board, they just have better players. They have similar defenses. They got a couple of run stoppers, a guy or two in the secondary. And Indy has the better offense. And Indy has the better coach. I don't understand why this wasn't closer to a field goal. I wouldn't have given them the full field goal being on the road. But I thought it was going to be at least 2. Give me Indy -1. I love this one right here. Listen, Detroit. They're going to Oakland. I thought they were going to be favored in this game. Maybe it's just my perception of Oakland. I don't get it. I had Detroit at 3, but it opened at a pick, and then it moved to Oakland -2. Look, I mean, that makes me nervous, but still, I think that people have like this fake idea of Oakland, and I think that they were close yesterday, not necessarily because they're such a good team, because I think Houston's overrated. All they are is Hopkins and Watson. Like, they don't have a running back to speak of. They don't have a defense really to speak of. They got the Honey Badger back there, but that's about it. So, look, I don't think that was Oakland playing well. I think that was Houston playing poorly. So, I think Detroit, like, I didn't like the fact that I was worried. That's why I didn't take the Giant game last week, was because, and I'm glad, because I was worried that Detroit might just panic. Like, stay, after, like, the teams themselves, like the players, because of them trading that Quandre Diggs. So, it seems like they didn't. Seems like they're still in it. They do have depth at that position, so it's not like they lost something and haven't filled it. And I think Oakland is still an average on their best day team. So give me Detroit +2. I got 2 leans in the Patriots and Ravens game. Look, I think the Ravens are very overrated. I think that they're overrated and inflated after their win in Seattle, because I think Seattle isn't as good of a team as people think. And when Russell Wilson doesn't play his best game, then they have zero chance. So, and he didn't that day. So I think the Ravens are very inflated here. I think New England realizes that everybody has been saying about them that they never beat a good team this season. Like, they haven't beaten a good team this season. So I think they're pissed. And I think that they're going to set out and they're going to want to beat up on the Ravens. And I think that Belichick is going to study that Chargers game from last year. He's going to study all the film. And they have a phenomenal defense. They have like a once in a decade, like the best defense for the last decade. Like, they're very, very good by the numbers. And they want to prove that against a good team. And they have the personnel in that defense that's going to be able to contain Lamar Jackson. So I really think that the Pats are going to smoke them here. Like, I'm rarely on the Pats, but for the last like 2 weeks, I guess I was. But I am not too heavy of a Pats better. Usually the spread's too big, and usually they cover it, and I kick myself. But look, a situation like this, I think, Harbaugh's a great coach, but Belichick is fucking fantastic. So look, give me the Pats, but also give me the over, because I think the Pats are going to put up points, but I think Baltimore's still got the talent to get to about 17. This one's sitting here at 44. Like, it's going down. So it went from 46.5 to 44.5. So those are the same things, and I said 0.5.5. But anyway, I think this one could be maybe like a 30-20, somewhere in that range. 30-17. But I think they get over the number, and I think the Pats win by a touchdown, at least. All right, so those were the picks, locks and the leans. Locks, Jags and Detroit, both of them +2. We got Jags, Houston under 47, Indy -1, Pats and Ravens over 44, and the Pats -3.5. All right. You know what? I don't like the Pats Ravens anymore. Am I allowed to do that? I don't like the Pats Ravens over. I don't. After the way I talked about their defense, it made me realize that I worry that the Ravens will be able to keep up their end of the bargain. And if the Pats only score like 24, 27, like, you're going to need the Ravens to put up 20. And I don't know if they're going to get there. I don't think they're going to get there. Yeah, I'm just taking that one off the board. All right, so more thinking on the fly. More thinking on the fly. Look at that. All right, so next up, we're going to go with the dog of the week. So look, here's the dog of the week. I think it's going to cash. I like it a lot. I did like it more until about 2 or 3 hours ago. Like I said, I wrote this all out yesterday. And I don't know how it's going to go. So you know what? I'm actually going to change this. And the sucker bet is going to be the dog. So that's what we're going to do right now. It's more changing on the fly, right? This is This is pivoting. And this isn't like I'm not a slave to the notes I took yesterday. Yeah, I'll tell you guys if my opinions changed, and it did. And that's okay. That's okay, because there's more information available today than yesterday. And I should have sat down and ran through it a little bit before I started fucking yammering. But you know what? I don't care. So, let's do this. What I was going to make the dog of the week was Miami. I thought they had a great chance. Fitzpatrick playing another one of his ex-teams to beat them in their home turf. But with all this shit that came out today with the Jets, talking about trading Le'Veon Bell, talking about trading Jamal Adams, talking about everybody, it's a fucking fire sale and everybody's available with the exception of Quinn Williams and Sam Darnold. You know what would be funny? Like, it'd be fucking amazing. Like, what I hope is the case is that this is all true. And what the players seem to be saying is that, like, Gase lied to them and tell them it wasn't true. So it'd be really funny if it was, like, senior management just acknowledging this whole Gase thing is a goddamn failure. Like, of epic proportions. And they were shopping everybody in order to just get more draft picks or whatever to bring in and pay whoever, whatever they want to come in here into the New York Jets office and build the team from scratch. And that's what I think is probably going on. I think you're looking at a team that knows that there's no future, that there's no loyalty, that they're all available, and a coach that knows that he's a one-and-done guy. And I think they're all going to realize this. So I think there's a chance that the Jets fucking show up this weekend. I'm not betting on them. I am staying away from it. But I am removing Miami as my dog of the week. And I'm going to put it out here. I'm going to say my sucker bet of the week is Green Bay -4. It's already moved down to -3. They're going to LA. They're going to play the Chargers. Chargers coming off a win in Chicago after a whole bunch of fucking Chargery losses. Fumbling at the goal line, missing field goals because you didn't bring a fucking field goal kicker with you like a bunch of idiots. And I think that this team forgot how to win for a while. They lucked into it last weekend by playing a bad Bears team. I think they smelled the win again. They want to eat that W like Jameis. They liked how it tasted. And I think they're going to play a little better going forward. And Green Bay's coming off of a big win. They had a couple of big wins. This is a non-conference road game. And I think it's a good spot for the Chargers to show up and beat an opponent who's been playing maybe a little bit above their heads. So I think the sucker bet of the week is Green Bay. And I'm making the dog the Chargers. The dog is the Chargers. All right. So let's talk about the teaser. Because this is the one that I'm having the toughest time with, like, again. Like another thing that I might just change on the fly. So the first two are locks. I'm sticking with them. I want Philly +1. They are hosting the Bears. The Bears are a dumpster fire. Philly is finally back on the right track, just like the Chargers. Just like I said, smelled a win, loved it, and they want more of it. They're playing at home, and they're playing a bad team. This line jumped from 3 to 5. Because of Chicago's defensive potential, I don't really like laying 5, but I do love it if you tease it to +1. All right, so we're going with the Eagles +1, first leg of the tease. Next up, this line opened up Minnesota -2.5. Sounds like Mahomes is coming back. Went to KC -3.5. Oh, and then KC to -2.5. So when I guessed it, that was my bad. When I guessed it, I thought Mahomes was still out, so I said Minnesota -2.5. The Mahomes rumors are out there. Nobody knows what the fuck it is, but the books that have numbers up all have KC -3. I like Minnesota. Give me Minnesota in this one. All right, Mahomes is coming back. He's going to be a little bit tender. See him crying like a bitch on the field when that shit happened. He's going to be tentative as shit. He really is. And the first little bit of contact he takes down there, he might, he might just get a little nervous. That's all. So Minnesota's been playing great. I fucking hate Kirk Cousins, and I hate myself for starting to kind of believe in Minnesota, but I'm starting to believe in Minnesota a little bit. Defense travels. They got a fantastic running back. As long as they run the shit out of the ball and control the clock, they should be in this game absolutely all day. So let me get Minnesota in the teaser plus 8.5. Now, last leg of the teaser I had when I did it last night. Tampa Bay at Seattle. I was teasing Seattle down to -0.5 from 6.5. But I started getting nervous and thinking about Jameis and about how he's thrown a shitload of interceptions, but he's also thrown a shitload of yards, touchdowns, and a whole bunch of other stuff. He's been, minus the interceptions, he has been fantastic. And obviously he's a shitload of interceptions. I'm not saying to just fucking forget about him. But what I'm saying is, he's going to have a game at some point where he doesn't throw 4 fucking picks. Maybe just 1. Like that Rams game. Right? Seattle coming off a win at Atlanta. Tampa coming off a tough loss. Arians out there, challenging his team and backing his quarterback. I don't know if that's going to cause a divide or if that's going to galvanize everybody. So look, I got nervous and I want to take this out of my teaser. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to add Cleveland and Denver under 49. The number's 43. Bump it up to 49. Denver has a quarterback who has never taken an NFL snap. They have a team that realizes their players are getting traded. So a quarterback who just shit on the coaching staff. I think it's tough over there. I think they're going to have a tough time scoring. Cleveland still has a pretty good defense. Above average at best, absolutely. But above average for sure. Their cornerbacks are healthy. So I like this to stay under 49 for sure. So that's what I'm going to do. So the teaser we're going with is Cleveland, Denver, under 49. All right, so let's recap what we got here. We got locks and leans. The locks are the Jags and the Lions +2 each, respectively. The leans, we're going Jags, Houston under 47. Indy -1. Pats -3.5. Sucker bet of the week, we're going Green Bay. The dog, we're taking the Chargers. And for the teaser, we are going with the Eagles. Eagles of Philly. +1. Minnesota +8.5. Cleveland, Denver under 49. So there we go. And just to look it up to let you know, +160 is what the Chargers are right now on the money line. That's a pretty solid dog, and I definitely think they're a live dog. Absolutely have a chance. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Picks for the week. Like I said, I'm going to have some more out here this week. I'm going to do a daily fantasy one here. I'm hoping to get an NBA one in, but, I'm not 100% sure. I do have some shit I got to plan for this weekend, a little housewarming. But yeah, so anyway, those are the picks. That's it. I'm Mike. I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter at thatsportsdope. mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. And that's where you find all the social media icons. Thank you for checking it out. If you made it this far, tweet at me because I don't believe you. All right, peace out.